Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Ted Gardner, and I'm an interviewer for the Library of Congress Oral History Project.
Oh,
And we're conducting here at the Public Library of Cincinnati. And we have the honor and the pleasure of interviewing Victor Mette. And Victor, where were you born?
Fruit Hill, Hamilton County,
Hamilton County.
and
Okay.
1919.
What year were you born, Victor?
1919.
1919. My goodness sakes, that's just amazing. That's amazing. Well, where did you go to elementary school?
Fruit Hill on Route 25, and it was a half a mile school.
Okay. And that took you through what, the 8th grade or?
No, it took it to the 4th grade.
To the 4th grade. And then where did you go?
To Consolidated School in Anderson.
Okay. Oh, in the eastern part of the county.
No, it's eastern. Yeah, the road was 125 to Georgetown.
Oh, yes. Okay, very, very good. Well, what about your family? Did you have brothers and sisters?
I had 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Did you live on a farm or?
Yeah, I lived and farmed 1.
Okay. So you grew up in the farm environment and learned to do your chores early, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Anything particular that you remember that you want people to know about?
Well,
About your early days?
well, we had a nice old cow there, but she got a little old, and we having trouble with her, so we bought another. Dad bought another cow, and she was something else.
Was she a milk cow?
She's a milk cow, and I had trouble. She could do a good kick.
Oh boy.
And one morning, he was spraying or something, and she kicked the bucket. I went up and told my mother, and she said, "I'll show you how to milk a cow." She got there and sat down and started the milking, and that cow picked her up and set her in the where the cow manure was.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom got up and she gave that cow the damnedest beating you ever wanted to see. The cow was shaking.
Yeah, right.
Damn you, damn you, damn you, bang, bang, bang. And the cow was, but
Well, the growing up on a farm, of course, you had to learn a lot of things, didn't you? growing up on a farm, you had to learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
Bringing in firewood and cleaning up around and so
Oh,
forth.
yeah. I had to clean the chicken house, and I'd take a hoe and the roost they had had it up off the ground, so a skunk or what have you
Sure.
could get to the chickens.
Right, right. Yeah, I bet there was a lot of wildlife around, wasn't there?
There was.
Yes, surely. Well, now, did you go to high school?
Yeah.
Where did you go to high school?
Anderson Township.
Oh, yeah, good. Anderson Tigers, I think they are.
Anderson.
Anderson Tigers, yeah, something like
Mount
that.
Wash-
No, the Indians.
Way on Mount Washington.
Yeah, right. Well, now, in everybody's life, there are certain times that one remembers a particular important date. Where were you on December the 7th, 1941, when the Japs attacked?
I was at home with just sitting and taking it easy.
Mm-hmm. It was a Sunday.
Sunday.
And did
And they announced about the war.
Sure, you heard it on the
And
radio.
my brother-in-law had a hobby with the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
He could read
Right.
read that
Morse code,
Morse code,
telegraph, yeah.
and he was in there several months before he was stationed in San Francisco.
Now, was that in the Air Force
I don't know.
or the Army?
It wasn't Air Force,
Mm-hmm.
but
He was older than you?
no younger.
He was younger than you.
He was 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, what were you looking ahead to after Pearl Harbor?
After Pearl Harbor,
You personally going into the military?
I was going in. Let's see. I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't very long.
Where did they send you?
I first went to Atlantic City and New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and we stationed there at a hotel. They had took a hotel for the troops.
What kind of training were you assigned to?
Electric, for telephone, how to fix phones and what have you.
Repair?
And I was there we going out and marching and what that's marching That'll get you, you know.
Was this in the summertime?
No, it was in the winter.
Oh, it was in the winter. Wow. That could be tough. Ice and snow.
Well, the boardwalk there was slick.
Mm-hmm.
And the sergeant trying to march us down is just ice.
Sure.
And he was mad.
Close order drill and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Very difficult. And you guys were untrained and rookies, and
Yeah.
yeah, I know what that was like. Yes, I should say. After Atlantic City, where did they send you?
Well, I had a deal there at Atlantic City. I got a sore throat.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on sick call, and the doctor looked at it, and he took a spatula or something with cotton on it and dipped it down in arginol.
Mm-hmm.
I remember arginol.
Oh boy.
And he painted that on my back of my throat.
Wow.
And then report for duty next. Yeah.
You're supposed to be all royal.
Yeah. And after that, it was hell.
Yeah. Well, now, we're still talking about early 1942 when you went in? 1942?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you got called up pretty early. Is that right?
What?
You got called up pretty early in the. Were
Yeah.
you drafted?
Yeah.
They gave you a draft number?
Yeah, well, I was drafted and rejected
Mm-hmm.
for deviated
Septum?
septum, yeah. That kept me out for about a month or so.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Well, that was before the war, the real war, the war started.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Okay. And then were you tested and they found out that you had this ability to do repair work, or what? How did that happen?
Well, I went to school for it.
Electrical school?
And all was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there at New Jersey, there we my throat was bad shape.
Yeah.
I was spitting blood.
Sounds like strep throat.
It was strep throat. I had strep throat afterwards, and nothing like that.
Wow, that was terrible. Terrible.
Well, there, when I was put back on duty, a fellow. Well, I had a friend in the Army. He was an officer, and he had me out to visit. So he returned me to my place and told the officer it was beyond my rightful hours, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And by golly, I went to bed at 11 o'clock and got up at 2 o'clock.
Wow.
And go on duty. And it was on KP.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kitchen patrol.
what?
Kitchen patrol.
Yeah.
KP.
The irony of it was, it was KP for the prisoners.
Oh.
And they came down there, and there were a bunch of joking and whatever, and I'm in there dishing the stuff out, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Well, when I got through with that, I had to wash dishes.
Boy.
And those guys in the prison were laughing, and
Sure, they didn't have to do anything.
they didn't have to do anything.
You were the good guy, but you had all the hard work.
Well, the sergeant was in charge of the kitchen there. Was hard to get along with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And by golly, he I only had, you know, like a 3 hours sleep, and I wasn't feeling, but that night, after the last meal, why we had to peel potatoes and clean it up. Well, we got it done, and the sergeant come in there and looked, and he tipped the table over and found out that the slat in there, stuff went down in there.
Mm-hmm.
We had to turn the tables over and clean in the back of them,
Scrub it. Huh?
scrub it.
You don't forget things like that. I
You
know.
know. Yeah, and then we at 10 o'clock, about 10:50 or so, or 30, we were off duty over the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and the corporal the escorters down the walkway, slick ice, count cadence.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, guys were falling down all over the
I'll
place.
bet. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, you must have had cleats. But it was a mess going back to.
I can imagine so.
Yeah.
Well, now, Victor, after were you there through a whole season, or just for a couple of months, or what?
Just for a couple of months.
Then where were you? Were you sent to another station?
Yeah. I was to go down to one in Missouri, and they had a school there, and we for wiring and what have you.
I see. Of course, you went by train.
Yeah.
Is that the first time you'd ever been out of the state?
Yeah.
When you went to Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they sent you halfway across the country to Missouri, huh?
Yeah. And I still had the throat.
Bad throat.
Throat trouble, and it was affecting my hearing. And but they let's say ignored it. You're going to walk.
If you can walk, you can do what's necessary.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we had other training there, like gas and whatnot. Go out at night and run, what have you. And
did you make private first class by that time?
yeah. Well, we got I got from there, went to Neosho, Missouri, and it was still more
Advanced electrical training.
Yeah, and then well, we went to California. While I was there, my folks, my mother and dad came to see me.
Oh, good.
And then we shipped out to California.
What did you think about California?
Oh, that's nice.
Quite a change from Atlantic City, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we were stationed in a fig orchard.
Oh, okay.
But the place was raisin harvest time, and I was surprised. They hauled raisins in the dump trucks, you know. Incredible.
Never seen anything like that.
Never.
No, I should say. Well, now, this was near San Francisco, you say?
No, it was down below.
South of San Francisco.
South.
Okay. Okay. And what kind of a base was that?
Well, that was nice. We had German cooks, and they could cook.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have any more KP duty?
No,
That's good.
well, then we got a thing to move,
Mm-hmm.
and
Got your orders.
we got 3 days to go home and
3 days, wow. Not very much time.
no. I went.
Did you already have orders to go somewhere after those 3 days?
Yeah, no, we went down to Pittsburgh, California,
Oh, yeah.
and got on the steamer to go to the station, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the opposite part of the harbor there,
Right.
and to go on the boat.
And where did the ship take you?
Went
Where did the ship take you?
to the island,
Hawaii?
Hawaii,
Okay.
and we were there for a while.
Mm-hmm. More training there?
More training and acclimation, I might
Mhm.
say. Well, that island had been taken away from the Japs, but it divided up. There was Jap part, and they weren't fighting. Every day. They would shoot down to the Jap part of the island.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you remember what island that was?
Biak,
Oh, Biak.
yeah,
That's near New Guinea.
yeah,
Oh, wow. That was a long way from home, wasn't it?
yeah. Well, anyway, I and another fellow were given a job to escort this fellow that was going to I forget the country there was all
Occupied?
Occupied by a religious bunch,
Mm-hmm.
and they were, and the island was Christian, and we had to take one of these, escort him to that village there, school, see how they were teaching, and we had went on the uh, they hauled us and told us to take that road. And another guy to escort this fellow down a couple of miles, or about a mile, I guess. But he went in, and the natives gave us a good meal. And then we had to find our way back, which was 3 miles.
You had to walk back?
Yeah. And we met a native with 2 wives, and they were what's called loaded down with whatever, and the guy with him he had a sword about like he looked like he had be hard to get along with.
Not somebody you'd like to live with, huh?
No.
Now, at this time, what was your rank?
Rank, I was a private.
You were a private.
I was.
Now, were you assigned to a particular outfit, a regiment or a company or a battalion or?
The ground observers.
Ground observers. Oh, I see. Okay.
But
so you were attached. You were attached to an army group, were you?
Yeah. They what you call it? Well, anyway, the place where the Japs were, but they sneaked up at night, and they knew how to kill a guy.
Around the neck?
No, it's what way a pinch or something. Then a person would. One of the guys in our outfit, he had to be in a tent where the tools were and everything, and
he was guarding the tools, was he?
Well, yeah. But in the night, he screaming, and he thought a snake was the problem. From and he still didn't. The Jap left, but that day they had killed a 12-foot foot snake there. He thought the Jap was a snake.
I'll be darned. Oh,
snake,
my
and
goodness.
he was screaming.
Well, I would too.
Yeah.
Well, now, were you under constant danger from the enemy
Yeah.
while you were there all the time?
Well, not constant, but the Japs were living off the dump, and that's they'd crawl in at night and get supplies.
Sure.
And as long as they didn't bother otherwise. Well, we had a storm one night, and boy, it rained. I don't know but I've never been in a rain like that. And well, I was in the tent, but next morning the officers, they had a separate camp, you know. And there was no food in the kitchen. The Japs
They'd swiped it all, huh?
swiped it all.
Oh my goodness sakes.
And boy, there was hell. I don't know what he was, but he said, we're gonna foul out and teach these chaps a thing or two. And we had to get ready, and what you call it, one of the guys, set of officers, raised hell. We weren't trained, you know, like that.
Now this was still on BIAC?
Yeah. And we had we couldn't go on. We weren't trained for that thing. But we did take to fire a 50 caliber machine gun. We had to learn to do that, but that was the extent of our.
And you were still acting as a ground observer?
Oh, yeah. Or no.
No.
I had been demoted. When I came back from home, back home, I was on the train in Cincinnati, and going back there, I was 30 some hours, no sleep. And I went in and asked the sergeant, could I take a nap on the train? I couldn't even sit down. I was riding, laying on the floor or outside between the,
cars.
yeah. Inside is smelly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I asked him if I could sleep. Yeah, go ahead. And I went into the tent and trying to sleep. Well, there were New Yorkers or what have you, and they speak at the top of their lungs, you know, and I was laying there sleeping, trying to sleep, and this lieutenant came in, and I had to get up. I'm, you know, those guys, New Yorker and a New Jersey woman.
They speak differently, don't they?
They sure do.
Mm-hmm.
They have. You know.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2 feet from each other, and you know.
Unlike the quiet Ohioans.
No. And they were there raising hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this lieutenant came in, and I don't know well, I had to get up, and I'm 30 hours sleep, and then all of a sudden the lieutenant demoted me. I didn't call attention to the guys up there talking.
Mm-hmm.
So he took my PFC from me.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah,
It didn't seem fair.
it didn't seem fair. I swore I was going to see him after the war.
Did you ever?
No,
No.
I might have done him in.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Didn't seem fair. Well, now, you were back in the States by this time?
Oh, no.
You were still on BIAC.
Well, we went from BIAC to the Philippines.
Oh, you went to the Philippines. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Now, where did you go ashore in the Philippines?
Where MacArthur did.
Oh, you were with MacArthur.
Uh,
October of 1944.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my outfit was the grounds observers. They had them scattered in different islands, and what's it called? In the mainland of the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. Luzon.
What?
Luzon.
Yeah,
Island of Luzon.
yeah. And they, an observer we'd call in a Jap, what you call it, was to what you call it?
Japanese.
No, they call it. Yeah, they would call it in about it, and that was our original training.
Mm-hmm.
I got the job wire, telephone wire
Mm-hmm.
on my backside,
Mm-hmm.
and another guy would call in where the Japs were, you know.
Oh, I see.
Well, when it was over with, yeah, the guys that were stationed there came and watched MacArthur trample in, and
Oh, through the surf.
yeah,
How about that?
yeah, they were watching him.
He tried several times to get
Yeah.
a good photo op.
Yeah,
So you saw that.
no, my buddy did,
I see.
and he had been in there a year or so,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe more than that.
Mm-hmm.
They took him in by submarine,
Oh. Wow, that's exciting.
and we had a Filipino army.
Mm-hmm.
They strutted there in San Francisco. Boy, you know, this they were really something else.
Mm-hmm.
And by golly, when they hit the beach at the Philippines, they took the army clothes off, and we're civilians.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't going to get, but our soldiers had. There were about 90 of us that were.
So you had an assignment of stringing electrical wire, phone line
Yeah.
for communications.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was my duty,
Right,
but it never happened.
but it never.
You know,
How long were you there in the Philippines?
oh, I don't know, several months.
Mm-hmm. Up until 1945.
Yeah, and well, in the Philippines, we went to the Japanese.
You were chasing the Japs?
No, we were there. Our outfit had an observer's station where he landed,
Mm-hmm.
but before that, why, we were just on the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As you moved through the islands, Did you suffer any injury or anything like that?
Injury?
Did you get injured or get hurt or as you moved in with your unit?
No, you know. But
Tell us some more about your action there in the Philippines.
well, I was demoted and by the lieutenant, and I had to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they, but when we got together, why, well, then they started to send us home, you know. And I volunteered as I taught school before I went to the Army, and
You didn't tell us about that.
What?
You didn't tell us about that. I
Yeah.
didn't know you were a school teacher.
Yeah,
Where did you teach?
Cincinnati, and Blue Ash.
Oh, up in Blue Ash, sure. Well, good for you. That's wonderful. Yeah.
But
did they have you teaching in the Army?
yeah.
Good. Tell us about that.
Well, I taught whatever they like sanitation or various things. I would lecture and would do what a teacher does, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the lieutenant took that away. But
Sounds like you had a bad lieutenant.
yeah, he. I met him downtown there one time, and him and another lieutenant had this girl between them, and she was one, you know, horse, you know, and this lieutenant had his arm around and the other one, the other arm around, and he gave me a
Salute.
salute,
Uh-huh.
left-handed salute. Oh gosh.
You recognized him.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting about your teaching. Now, tell us, where did you get your teaching instruction?
Wilmington.
Wilmington College?
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's a very good.
Well, I was going to night school at UC.
Uh-huh. Oh, you were? I see. That's interesting.
And then I went to Wilmington, and
Is that where you got your degree?
yeah.
How about that? So then after the war, did you go into teaching again?
Oh, this was after the war.
This was after the war.
Yeah.
So when the war was over, did you go back to teaching?
Yeah.
When you got out of the Army,
Yeah.
you were a teacher. Ah. And where did you teach?
Well, well, Cincinnati, and what's it called? Oh, it's on the tongue of my tongue.
Okay. Well, how long did you teach, Victor? How many years did you have of teaching?
I'd say about 4 or 5.
And what else? But you were still a young man at the end of the war, right?
Yeah.
And then you had 4 or 5 years of teaching.
Yeah.
Then what did you do after that?
I got a job in a medical company.
Ah, okay.
And we made drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best deal was morphine, you know.
Morphine.
Yeah. We put it in a 1 cc ampule, and we were turning out one of those a day. We had about a 5-gallon jug of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was sterile.
So you were a medical chemical technician?
Yeah.
I see. Now, you got married?
Yeah.
Marry a local girl?
No, to a younger girl.
I mean, a local girl.
Yeah.
Cincinnati girl?
No, Kentucky.
Kentucky girl. Okay. How many children did you have?
5.
5 children. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Aye, there's one.
Yeah.
And are they all still nearby?
Oh, yeah.
And how many grandchildren do you have?
None.
Okay. And where do you live now, Victor?
At my home.
Okay, that's in Hamilton County?
No, Clermont County.
Claremont County, okay. Well, you've had a very, very interesting career.
Yeah.
And you feel good about your war service?
No.
No. I don't think they understood you very well. I think you were more highly trained than they expected. And that might have had something to do with it.
I at the Philippines, I wanted to stay at least 5 months or 6
Mm-hmm.
to study the way they worked.
Oh, yes.
And I would be a great thing for me.
Oh, yes. Your education, sure.
Yeah.
But they sent you back.
But they sent me back.
Yep.
And they put me on an old boat. It was his last voyage.
Mm-hmm.
But it took almost a month
Get across the ocean.
to cross the ocean.
Came back into California.
Yeah. But the deal was the rest of the outfit, they got on a carrier,
Mm-hmm.
and they made it back in 4 or 5 days.
Right. right, right.
And they were, they, and I went, that was up to Seattle.
Oh, yes.
I went back to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And I had time at San Francisco where trains were sparse.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay. So you came back to Ohio from San Francisco
yeah,
by train. Well, listen, you've had some very, very interesting experiences, Victor, and our nation is very proud of you, and we thank you very much for your service. And you were a little older than a lot of the fellas, weren't you?
yeah.
Because you were born in 1919. Well, we just, we're very, very proud of you. We're glad that you're still with us, and we wish you a lot of luck. And it's been a great honor, sir, to speak with you and get to meet Victor Mette and your daughter who brought you here. And we're just very, very happy for you. And we wish you well and continue that good spirit.